Hi guys, Elaina McMillan here of BringBackThatSpark.com. Today I want to talk a little bit about something called limerence. You may know of it as the honeymoon phase or the beginning of the relationship or, back when it was hot. Well, let me explain a little bit about it, because if you understand the psychology behind it, you may just be able to recreate it in your own relationship. So generally what happens is limerence, that period where it's so easy, where you can't stop thinking about the person, where you're always hot for each other, nobody ever turns sex down. There's something about that is just innately temporary. It's just part of the deal. So what often happens is we ride the wave of limerence, and then when it wanes, and it will, anywhere from, let's say, 3 months in to 3 years in, when it wanes, we think something's wrong. And generally, we go one of two ways. Something's wrong with them, or something's wrong with us. And frankly, neither of those is the powerful path that's going to get you results. So here's the thing. Limerence is temporary. I like to look at it like this. Limerence gives you an example of what's possible in your relationship, right? Think of it like training wheels. You're this kid and you've never gone faster on your own than you could run. And all of a sudden you get on this bike with training wheels and you're going faster than you've ever gone before, and the wind is in your hair and you're flying and it feels so good. Well, if and when those training wheels come off, which I suppose eventually they will, how many 40-year-olds do you see riding around with training wheels? There's something you have to put in. It shows you what's possible, and then you have to learn balance, right? So if you take the training wheels off and you don't put in balance, you'll fall over. So in your relationship, when the limerence comes off and you don't put something in, the relationship kind of falls over. And for a lot of us, we just deal with it. And like I said, we make it that, that they're not trying hard enough, that we're not trying hard enough, that we're maybe not really supposed to be together. We have all kinds of sort of directions we take it in, but none of them are very empowering. So I'd like to give you an empowering context. If limerence is like the training wheels on your relationship to show you what's possible, then all there is to do is put something in when the limerence wanes. And I believe that to be consciousness, to consciously create our relationship. If you know that you guys can be playful and spontaneous and fun, and it isn't just naturally happening anymore, then what there is to do is create spontaneity, playfulness, and fun. We tend to think that when we plan things, it somehow diminishes it, right? Planned sex isn't as hot as spontaneous sex. Well, no sex isn't as hot as planned sex. So let's just get real. Sometimes planning is important. And when it comes to your relationship, it's very important that you be aware of creating your relationship on purpose, because if you don't, you're going to create it by default. And what that means is you're going to go about your busy life with work and kids and bills and all the other things that sort of distract us and take our attention, and by the way aren't very fun, and then we'll give each other, our relationship, what's left, which is not generally much. Well, here's a better way. Why don't we look at our relationship as something to balance out the stresses and commitments and responsibilities we have, and be sure that we do things consciously. So plan a date night. Plan a sex night if that's something that you need. Hey, look, I know it doesn't sound crazy hot to say Tuesday night is sex night at 8:42 when the kids go to bed. But again, it's a lot hotter than just not having it, because sometimes waiting for spontaneity means living on default and not having the relationship we want and deserve. So what are you creating in your relationship? And are you creating it on purpose, or are you creating it by default? Date night is a super great way to start creating your relationship on purpose. It's a tip from me, Elaina McMillan at BringBackThatSpark.com. Go forth and be great husbands.